watch the store.
Guys, welcome to Monterey. Guys, it's Monday. It's only Monday. It's supposed to be the dead day. And look at that, Chiron Pure Sport. Got the Miami Blue 2RS pulling in behind it as well. Oh my. Look at that, guys. It's like an Easter egg hunt here in Carmel, basically. You gotta look up and down, all around, check the underground lots. Never know what you'll find. Look at that, Wyra BC. Got some photographers on the other side here, so I don't want to get too close and ruin the pics, but it's a cool spec. Usually, like, the whole body is exposed painted carbon fiber, so the fact that this is like a two-tone, just body paint and carbon fiber, blue and dark blue, is really sick. Like, that is pretty epic. Now we can get a bit of an up-close look. Look at that blue interior. How sick is that? So I'm gonna stand on the other side of the room away from the Gordon Murrays for now, because there's tons of cool cars sitting around that we definitely want to check out for the Gordon Murrays, including this dark brown McLaren Speedtail. How cool is that? So pretty fitting that Gordon Murray is in the building. So the sort of like F1 successor, at least the center seat successor in the McLaren lineage, is present for the man himself who designed the F1. So there's a Speedtail for you guys. Always good to see these. We've seen a few of them now on the channel, I believe. Not very many, because I think there's only like 75 or something like that ever made. So to see one is pretty damn cool and pretty special, and the brown looks really nice. Behind that, we've got a P1 GTR in black and gray, almost reminiscent of like old McLaren Formula 1 cars, some like late 90s, early 2000s, that sort of era, like the early Vodafone cars. Man, that is so sick. Have a look at the exhaust in the back of the P1 GTR. So obviously this is the track variant of the P1, so track only, but some people have converted them to be road legal. I'm not sure if this one is a road legal one, but as you can see through the tiny little window, it's obviously very, very bare bones inside. Not very much going on. But have to see if this is a road conversion or not. Either way, that is pretty damn sick to have that combo of McLaren sitting there. There we go. So the crowd cleared out a little bit. I think Gordon Murray walked away to sign autographs elsewhere, and everybody sort of followed him, as they should. He's a legend. But we do get a closer look at the T33 Spider now, the brand new Gordon Murray automotive car. And yeah, it's just, I mean, we looked at some of the details already, but just another quick little walk around, just so you guys can get a closer look at just some of the finer details, the headlights and everything, the lightweight wheels, the Brembo brakes on it. Just so nice looking. And yeah, the center wiper is so cool. Definitely sort of gives that race car Le Mans style vibe. Interior, as I said, nice and bare bones. And the blue is just a very, very nice launch color on it too. Definitely suits the car very, very well. And then just shift back to the big boy, the T50. Just epic. And yeah, as I said before, it's pretty obvious that it draws its lineage back to the McLaren F1. The design is very, very similar. Yeah, absolutely love it. Great job to Gordon Murray Automotive. Look at that, guys. Spanish Bay Resorts on 17 Mile Drive. 1, 2, 3 Chiron Super Sports. So we've got two regular ones. We do have the 300 Plus edition too, which does have some subtle differences. A little more streamlined, going for that obviously insane top speed record. I'll get up close here in a second once some of the crowds are cleared away. So yeah, the two standard ones here, you've got black with the blue stripes and then the white. They do have different wheels actually. So this one does have the multi-spokes on it, and we've got the 5 spokes here on the white one. Does kind of a Ninja Star look, sort of like almost like a 458 Italia kind of wheel. But yeah, a lot of differences between the standard Chiron. We obviously got these sort of ED110 style little small intakes at the front, and then the Super Sports are much longer than the standard Chiron, so a long tail of sorts. You can definitely see, and we don't have a regular Chiron to compare it to right now, but it is much bigger. This whole back section is completely different on the Super Sports. Also got these double stacked exhausts, which looks so sick on the Super Sport. It's a world record car. Obviously, it looks quite different than its standard counterpart, but absolutely epic. And we'll go look at the 300 Plus edition, which is sitting just over there. So if we look at the 300 Plus edition here, so it's kind of cool. It does have the same black and orange look as the Veyron Super Sport World Record Edition. But noticeable difference on the 300 Plus is that the two over there, you can sort of see has those little sunroofs on top, which this one is a fully closed cockpit, no sunroofs on it, so everything is sort of streamlined to go for that world speed record. And yeah, the first car to go 300 Plus, aptly named. You can see the license plate there, 305 miles per hour. So pretty damn sick, and I do love all the little orange accents there on the W16 in the back. It's such a cool looking car. You get Super Sport Chiron. Look at that, what a nice silhouette. So cool to just see it chilling there on the road. Presuming they're going to drive it up into storage up the hill there. XJ220, not bad. Nice dark blue too. Monterey Car Week 2023, day number 2. Let me just flip around here, make sure we get it in screen. There we go. Chiron Super Sport. So that is number 4. We saw the 3 lined up yesterday. I'm gonna get my face off the camera so we can flip this around and check it out. Yeah, pretty classy looking spec, still with the blue carbon accents on it. And it looks like it's got the sort of like two-tone, like dark blue and white seats on it as well. It does have the 5-spoke wheels, not the multi-spokes that we did see yesterday. And yeah, just another like nice touch that I do like there. Just those little ED110 style vents. Not bad. Hey guys, just a quick step away from the Chiron Super Sport. We've got, look at that, LaFerrari in silver. I don't think this is Argento Nürburgring. It has like a bit of a blue flake to it. So I'm not really sure in the color code. What is cool about this one though, these are actually the FXXK wheels, so 10 spokes. I think the standard LaFerrari is the 5-spoke wheels. So yeah, this one does have the FXXK wheels. Yellow ceramics, obviously. Just looks so good on this thing. My goodness. Just never ever get tired of seeing LaFerrari. So, random little side street. Trailer opens up. Boom. Jaguar D-Type. Mid-50s Le Mans winner. I believe it's won twice, and yeah, it's just worth millions and millions of dollars. I think it's a roof CTR2 maybe sitting back there, just looking by the wing, or maybe it's just a custom 911, not sure, but there's the prize right there, the Jaguar Deep Type. That's absolutely insane, just peak car week things. Okay, yeah, we had to stop, because it wasn't just a plain F40, it's an F40 LM, so you can see the different style wing, obviously the carbon fiber, we got the gurney flap on the back there. And yeah, this was the big tell, the different OZ Racing 5-spoke wheels. And obviously, inside is looking a little different, a little more race car-like. And yeah, having the front off is pretty cool. So it's getting loaded up onto the trailer. So timing was pretty perfect for us, guys. An F40 LM with no front end. Boom. Look at that, guys. What a find on Tuesday here in Monterey. An underground Koenigsegg layer. So I think most of these we did see back at the OC meet in our Car Week pregame. However, there are a couple new ones here. Mainly the CC850, which debuted at Monterey Car Week last year at the Quail. This is that incredible sort of restomod tribute to the original CC8S. The one that has that revolutionary gearbox that can switch between manual and automatic. If you haven't heard Christian von Koenigsegg talk about this car before, highly recommend you do it. The guy is just a genius and oozing with knowledge, and the looks of it are just incredible. Like, they did such a good job with this. It looks basically just like the CC850, but again, that restomod style, just bringing it up with those modern touches. So good. And then look at the Jesko back here. I think this is the first standard Jesko I have seen, and finished in this striking electric blue color. My goodness, that looks so good. And it's just an absolute speed demon. And then look at the rear wing back here. It's incredible. Something like straight off a Le Mans prototype. Just how it's connected to the roof line. That rear wing does flip up, serve as a huge air brake under heavy braking. So many good angles on this car. My gosh, that is incredible. Oh my, look at this trio cruising through the streets of Carmel. We've got F50 Zonda F, white with red carbon accents, which looks incredible. Sort of similar to Dr. K's that we saw quite a few times in Tokyo, except yeah, this one does have a bit of red carbon on the back, it looked like. And the rest of it's just plain black carbon. Absolutely insane. Much rarer to see a Zonda here than back in Tokyo, because yeah, Zonda Fs were never road legal here, so this is pretty nuts to see that driving around. And then we've got the blue Lyra BC that we saw back on day one in the parking garage. Now is out in the flesh, and yeah, have a look. That blue interior is matching the exterior. Man, oh man. That's quite the combo, guys. I mean, we are doing it big here at Car Week 2023, and it's still so early in the week. Holy, look at that. It's like Arctic Ice Blue P1 Red 765 or 675 LT. Wow. Alright guys, day 3. So here is the site and the start of our day today at RM Auctions. So we're here for the media preview. So we've got about an hour to walk around this whole section filled with crazy cars that are going up on the auction block at RM this year. The cream of the crop with Car Week Auctions RM. I mean, the caliber of cars they have is just insane. Let's start off with that Gulf livery Porsche 935. Absolutely awesome looking. Look at that Lancia 037, a Group B rally legend. Probably my personal favorite Lancia. The Deltas and the Stratos are really cool, but something about the 037 silhouette to me is just so nice. And have a look at this. More classic rally cars. So again, from the Group B era, the 205 Turbo 16, which is absolutely bonkers. The crazy wide body hatchback, look at that. The arches are totally insane, just built specifically for rallying. Speaking of which, the Ford RS 200. I don't know, hard to say if this is the most famous of the Group B cars. Definitely extremely recognizable. Yeah, just this roof intake here is so cool, so unique. The design of the RS200 is definitely a special one. Have a look at that back end, it's so cool. Yeah, of course, the Group B era is famous for these absolutely ballistic cars, and that's why it got shut down, because they were just way too dangerous. Too much power out of these things. So yeah, the regulations obviously changed after Group B, but we did get some cool cars out of the era. So this is quite possibly the coolest section here at RM. Maybe one of the coolest things I've seen at any car week in general. This is an entire section of the auction is just Ferrari barn finds. So like this one right here, 500 Mondial, and even in this ridiculous condition, have a look at the estimate here. It's still saying 1.2 to 1.6 million, the estimate for this car, and it's literally just, well, I mean, basically a crumpled pile of scrap metal is what this poor old Ferrari has been left to. But you can tell just the significance of it, and I think people are just really interested in the fact that it is in terrible condition, and it's sort of like an art piece here. That's probably why it's still being asked for over $1 million. You can see there's like parts lying around everywhere. Oh man, there's just so much to look at. Yeah, have a look at that. The Nart Racing Team 512 BB just left in its dilapidated state And it's really cool. It's got like sort of a classic Formula 1 style rear wing on the back, the race version of the 512 BB. Looks like an old Gilles Villeneuve era Formula 1 car, that wing. Very cool. And have a look at the 275. I like how they've just leaned this plank of wood up against it too. Looks like how you would find it if you came across it in a barn, or if you were lucky enough to do that. Look at all the paint peeling off of the roof there, along the windowsill and the door. It's absolutely hilarious. A couple of legends here in the parking garage. The F40 and the SE30 Diablo. So yeah, one of 150, and apparently, according to this pamphlet right in the windshield, the only black on black Diablo SE30 ever made. So that is pretty damn cool. Just sitting here in the public parking garage by the RM auction. And back up a bit. Look at that combo. How nice is that? So good together, the Diablo SE30 and the F40. Okay, back at Spanish Bay, 2 of the Chiron Super Sports have left. We do have a new one in its place with this incredible design that just got unveiled. Sort of this like candy apple metallic red, and it's got all these crazy orange pinstripes across the entire car. So the design is reminiscent of, there's a special edition Veyron called the L'Or Blanc, which is white and blue, but very similar striping patterns that the Chiron Super Sport has. And look at that, it even stretches down just above the exhaust with some orange pinstriping. Really, really suits the craziness of the Chiron Super Sport. Man, and it has the Skyview sunroof as well. And look at that, even the intakes there, it's a bit of orange going through that too. Pretty crazy. And then yeah, there's the 300 Plus edition is still there in the world record livery. And then we step over there. We've also gained a Miura SV here at Spanish Bay. So not a bad lineup once again. This place never disappoints. Oh, more traffic spots. 2 Chiron Super Sports. Finally the art car is moving, and the 300 Plus is in front of it too. Look at that. Alright, Polo Fields is bumping. Look at that, a ditched LFA Nürburgring. If you include the Magarigawa event that we went to a couple weeks ago, that is 3 LFA Nürburgrings in the span of a couple weeks. 50 in total, so not too bad. And yeah, just sitting on its lonesome there behind the trailer. Okay, so saw the lights flashing there, my mistake. It's not a police car. It has police looking lights, but it's actually a Monaco Grand Prix pace car. How sick is that? Probably the coolest pace car I've ever seen, at least. Maybe the coolest one out there, who knows? Either way, that is so cool. Dropping down, you can see all of the old decals paying tribute to the old Can-Am cars. The Canadian flag on there shouts out, represent. These special 5-spoke wheels that are unique to the Can-Am edition. You also have the special wing, the silver and white two-tone with the black supports. Look at that, and then you got Denny Holmes' signature, and I think you got Bruce McLaren's signature on the other side.
Perfect.
Wow, special louvers on the front there too. I think that is unique for the Can-Am as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be like polo. Yeah, I have one here. huge crowd here, guys. Not for the LP640, even though it's very sick, but for that, the Apollo Evo. So we saw the Apollo IE last year, which already looked totally ridiculous, and this is even crazier. I'm going to get up close as soon as we can, so we don't interfere with photographers and whatnot, so I can show you guys some of the crazy details on this car. You see the back of the car almost looks like an X-Wing fighter. All of the points sticking off of it are actually the taillights, and they've got this crazy looking triple exhaust, sort of LFA style, just a lot bigger. And you see the back, the rear housing over the exhaust, totally crazy. That is very reminiscent of the IE from last year. Got that huge carbon fiber intake on top. And yeah, at the front, you can see how striking it is. I also wanted to point out the paint job on it. It flips between like 4 different colors. There's like orange, yellow, red, there's some pink in it too. And again, check out the headlights. I don't know if they're running. It looks like it's a bit peeling off there. It may just be for stickers for now. So maybe just driving it during the day. But yeah, look at the exposed linkage in there through the carbon fiber louvers. It's so sick. There's so much going on with this car. So much to see. And we get up close to the interior here. This is pretty reminiscent of the Apollo IE, the Evo. The big thing on this is, look at that steering wheel. It's something like straight out of like a futuristic Formula One car or something like that. Absolutely mega. And then this is very Aston Martin Valkyrie style here, because you can see through to the suspension and the wheels. And yeah, it's another look at the paint too, as it shifts through the lights. Polo Fields was lit today. Now the Carmel street spots are coming in hot. Look at the spec on this 812 comp. This is a real winner. I'm not really sure what silver this is. It's got a bit of brown to it. It's really nice, but then it's got this really cool Tour de France stripe on it. And then look at the interior on this. Blue seats. Oof, it just pops so well against this like brownish silver. It's so cool. 812 comp is such a nice looking car. For me, it's a huge improvement over the F12 TDF. Like, I quite enjoy seeing these a lot more, but that's just personal opinion. Either way, I think we can all agree that this is a really nice spec. Oh my goodness, it's pandemonium here, guys. Holy crap. Check out look at the turn signal on that. Oh man, look at everybody running. Look at everybody running. Day 4 here at Monterey Car Week. We are on Pacific Coast Highway 1. It's the Pebble Beach Tour d'Elegance today. Oh, hello, Random Remac Navarra joined the crew. Tons of surprises this morning. Wow, Super Sport. So there we go, post Pebble Beach Concourse tour, and we have the star of the show parked at the side of the road, the McLaren F1 GTR Longtail, the absolute GOAT. There's no dispute, McLaren F1, greatest car ever built. This is chassis 27R, and this is actually the first Longtail chassis to ever win a race. So it's got a lot of history to it. It's been restored by Lanzante back to its original Parabolica entry. And yeah, obviously number 27, so fitting with the chassis number. new Regera there, full carbon blue accents. It's got honey branding on it, so yeah, some kind of new Regera. And look at that Tiffany blue 964 Cabrio. And then right over there, we've got an Aston Martin Valkyrie. Oh my. All right, yeah, this is a car I was really hoping we'd see at least one of at Monterey Car Week, the Valkyrie. It's finished in like a slightly darker than British Racing green, I believe. Got the doors open up. Someone in the passenger seat, so I don't want to get too close and bother them. But you can see the cockpit and the carbon fiber monocoque. Absolutely amazing. You got the little screens on either side of the steering wheel in replace of side mirrors. Yeah, it just looks like a Le Mans prototype. It's absolutely mega. Come around, you can see all the exposed linkage. Remember the one we saw back at Fuji Speedway back in May in Japan? That was like a dark gray. This one definitely pops a lot more with this green, and man, everything just stands out so well with these. Got these nice little like bronzy accents on it too, and it's got like beige seats. Just a very classy spec. My goodness, what a car. What up? There's Mr. Sheep and all his disciples there. There's the F-Spotmobile S600, and then over there we got a 288 GTO casually crossing the street. Okay, this bad boy right here, the GT1 Signature Series, full carbon fiber, it's absolutely mental. So basically this company has purchased the last, I think it's like the last 30 05, 06 Ford GTs off of Ford that were like development cars that are going to be getting rid of anyway, and they converted them into these track-only carbon fiber monsters. The coolest thing about this car is that the power plant is a Roush-tuned 1400 horsepower NASCAR V8 that's twin turboed. It's absolutely mental. There it is, sitting back there behind the plexiglass. Gonna have a look at the back and a look at the interior too. But it is just so good looking. Every single angle of this car is so cool. I absolutely love the Aero Disc turbo fans on that as well. But it's funny actually, you can still see the Ford emblem underneath, so you can see the original chassis is the Ford GT, but it's just been converted into this absolute weapon. This one here, the Radford 62-2, so coach built on a Lotus and designed in partnership with that man over there, Jenson Button, my personal favorite Formula One driver, so pretty cool that he is here. But the 62-2 definitely goes for that sort of classic sports car racing look from like the late 60s, early 70s, sort of like a Ferrari 512S or Porsche 917, things like that. But as I mentioned, built on a Lotus and in partnership with Lotus, it keeps in the spirit of those cars. Underneath there is the Toyota 3.5 liter supercharged V6, but this thing only weighs about 1,000 kilos, so it must be an absolute rocket ship. And that's the coolest part about it, is it has like the classic style wheel, the classic shifter, manual, and you can see those nice brown leather seats in there with the racing harness. So cool. It is like a classy track-day sports car that you can also maybe daily drive on the road. I'm not really sure, but it does look pretty capable of doing pretty much anything. The rear design is so nice too. I love where the exhaust is positioned just on either side of the diffuser. The rear light design is really nice too. So the Radford 62-2, definitely a winner. Okay, so I'm saving arguably the most interesting one for last, the Eccentrica Diablo. This just got unveiled about a month ago. It's a restomod Diablo. It's got the original 5.7 liter V12 from the Lamborghini Diablo in it. Just a few different changes aside from the body that I want to show you guys. The interior is the big standout for me, and the gearbox has also been upgraded from the original 5-speed to a 6-speed. And then that dash back there is so sweet, and you can see you got the turnkey in the center there. It starts like a plane actually, but that dashboard sort of looks like an old 80s plane or something. It's so interesting. My goodness, it's just such a clean design. The 5-spoke wheels suit it so well, and yeah, it's just it still keeps the essence of the original Diablo, but this back end, it's fitting that you start it like a plane. It's even got the remove before flight tag on the back. It's just so clean and definitely gives that like fighter jet vibe, but still keeps that classic Diablo shape. So that is the Centuica Diablo. Do check them out because it is such a cool car and very cool to see it up close in person. We've got Daniel Mac vlogs going on in the cut here late at night in Carmel. The leap just never ends. Look at that Machina Volante, the other YRBC, the Chiron Pure Sport, and this one's actually new. A gray LaFerrari, man, it is so sick. I think Daniel Mac's gonna do a TikTok with this one too, so might get some revs out of it. Some gangster is up there flying a plane around, drawing cue for Quail. So yeah, it's Quail Day, guys. Okay, start off with the all-carbon CCXR. I don't know if this is a different one from the one we saw in the parking garage. Same spec, but there was another one on a trailer back at Polo Field, so it could be just two identical CCXRs, which is pretty crazy. That same Wyra Roadster back there, I think we've seen that like 3 times now, so won't stop too much. I'm sure there's a lot of other cool things we haven't seen in the parking lot yet at the Quail, because as we know, it's basically a show in itself here at the Quail parking. So let's see what we can find. Good row of cars here. We've got the Ford GT and the classic white and blue. Look at that, sort of like an acid green 765 LT back there. That's actually quite nice. And then look at this, a Pure Sport we haven't seen yet, finished in orange. I think this is a Canadian car, actually, that's been rolling around Monterey. Seen pictures of it, but now we get to see it up close. So the orange is pretty damn nice, actually. Unlike the yellow and red ones we've seen, it's not like the two-tone. It's pretty much all orange, just with some black accents on it. Pretty nice. And then look at this, matte, like frozen blue Veyron 16.4 on the HRE wheels. So modified Veyron, always interesting to see. And then over there, look at that green P1, also on HRE wheels, so pretty bold modifying your hypercars like this, but it's just wheels, so no biggie, I guess. And YRBC Roadster. I don't know if we've seen this one yet. I don't remember. We've seen a lot of cars, guys, so it's kind of hard to keep track of all of them, but nice spec white with the blue accents, some dark blue tinted carbon fiber on top, and a nice white and blue interior there. Really nice. And then we get another backlight there. The green P1, the blue Veyron 16.4, and we've got the orange Chiron Pure Sport there. Nice little hypercar lineup. Look at that up at the Quail here at the Koenigsegg stand, the first production Gamera, the crazy 2-door, 4-door mega saloon, 2,000 plus horsepower and 8 cup holders. Absolutely insane. This is like the final production model. I think the ones they released before are just prototypes, but this is the final production variant of the insane Koenigsegg Gamera. This is what will be going out to the customers very shortly, I would assume. Let's have a quick look at the interior there. And what's amazing is just how big the door is on the Gamera. It's quite a unique car, that is for sure. There it goes. The dihedral Koenigsegg door, pretty classic. Nice. This one's absolutely mega. We did see this last year at the Quail, but I think this is more of a production variant now. It's got some MSO bits on it. This is the McLaren Solus GT, which is absolutely insane. So McLaren, pretty much for all of their cars in the modern era, have been using pretty much the same twin turbo V8 power plant, but this particular Solus GT uses a Judd V10, producing 829 horsepower, has 1,200 downforce at 150 miles per hour. It's totally bonkers, this car. I just love this sort of volcano orange paint they're displaying it into. But yeah, it's single-seater, and you may recognize this car from this year's Goodwood Festival of Speed. I do believe it's at the hill climb best time of the entire event. It's absolutely mega, and you can see where the lines are just on the cockpit there. It's got that canopy opening mechanism on it. It is a bonkers car. This is the Bugatti Chiron Super Sport Legend Edition. Have a look at how amazing this is. So black and gold faded paint, but then this is the winner right here. This whole design, like hand painted, all the different Bugatti models. You can see the likes of La Voiture Noire, the Chiron, the 110, the EB110, all hand painted on the side of the car. Absolutely incredible, especially against that gold backdrop. And then you can sort of see inside through the side of the door, they've got some of the classic models painted into the inside of the door. It's just incredible, this machine. I mean, Chiron Super Sport is already cool enough on its own, but then just having that hand-painted Bugatti artwork on the side is just mega. It just makes it a little bit cooler than all the rest of the Chiron Super Sports we have seen during Monterey Car Week. So another new Hypercar display here at the Zenvo booth. Now we have the brand new Aurora, which is available in two different specs. The first one we're looking at here is the Tour. So this is more of a road-going variant. It's a lot more streamlined for just, racking up highway miles, things like that. A lot more, drivable for daily use. Now the cool thing about the Aurora is that it's two different power plants. So they're both V12, but you can get two extra electric motors if you would like to bump it up from 1,450 horsepower to 1,800 horsepower, which is totally insane. And the fact that we're still getting V12s in this day and age, even if they are hybrids, is pretty special. We had a quick look at the interior. You can get up close to it. Again, quite nice. It's pretty simple, which I do like. It's just really the outside that is the best looking part of the Zenvo for me. Such a cool car. They're quite known for their outlandish design, especially the TSRS with its tilty wing, but the Aurora does seem a lot more streamlined, I must say. And then this is the Agile variant. So while the Tour goes for more of that streamlined look, this is definitely more of a track-focused racer. So you can see it adds this rear wing at the back, a lot more aero. It's got the exposed suspension back here, the big old Olin shocks. Got this forged carbon fiber bits there too. So not really sure. It could be a much lighter than the Tour. I'm not really sure, but it's definitely got more of that track look to it. Again, with this design that's really cool is just behind the front wheels here. It's got a lot of Valkyrie styling to it. Just how you can see through the wheel arches there. Again, with the exposed linkage on it. So cool. The most striking part of the Lotus Evija design for me is definitely the rear end. We've got these huge holes cut into the back for maximum airflow, and the rear taillight design is actually just a line of LEDs circling it. Got the active rear wing back here, and look at that. You see all of the exposed suspension. They're built by Multimatic, Canadian company, very close to my home in Toronto. But yeah, it's such a cool looking car. As I mentioned, it's fully electric, 2,000 horsepower, so pretty damn fast. And yeah, the classic Jensen Button bronze GP livery, such a nice touch. The Urban Bamboo PTS GT2 RS rolling out. I believe that color is worth, a couple $100,000. There we go. There goes a little bit of driving action for the Senna GTR. Hopefully not the last we've seen of this crazy beast here at Monterey Car Week. Sick is that? Basically a road going Diablo GTR. And look what's coming up towards us. That we did not make it over to in time, but it's passing us now. The new Porsche Boxster Spider RS. So a convertible GT4 RS. I don't know how we feel about that. It's kind of a strange car to make, but there it is. Get a little bit of rev out of it. So it goes past the Gordon Murray T50. So a lot of cars are starting to clear out here at the Quail, at the Gordon Murray booth. So we saw the T50 and the T33 Spider back on Monday at Canapa. This is one that we have never seen before, though. The T50S, I believe this is the first experimental prototype of it that has just debuted, and it's named after Niki Lauda, obviously very legendary, three-time Formula One world champion. If you don't know too much about F1, just go and watch the movie Rush. It's fantastic. Niki Lauda is just a legendary driver, so nice that they paid tribute to him with this incredible car. So yeah, it still has that NA Cosworth V12 that screams to 12,000 RPM. There's the bad boy right there, looking nice and pretty. Just nuts looking. That's what's powering this bad boy right here, the T50S Niki Lauda. So obviously, the track-only version, it's still got that glorious ground effects fan at the back, but it's added this huge rear wing, which the regular T50 does not have. So obviously the fan providing a ton of downforce, and the wing just making it even more extreme. That shark fin is a nice little touch too. Got that huge roof snorkel on top, bringing a lot of air into that rear engine setup. But my goodness, I can't get enough of these Gordon Murray cars. They're absolutely fantastic looking. And then just head back to the front again as I try not to trip down the stairs here that I'm stepping down. You can just see again a couple different more touches at the front. That big carbon fiber front splitter, the canards. My, so nice. I believe the 5 spokes are unique to the TVS Niki Lauda as well. I think the Pagani booth is quite special this year because we've got the new Utopia, the first new model Pagani in many years. I think in 11 years. I think it's 2012 the Huayra debut. The Utopia is so cool to me because I think it combines elements of both the Huayra and the Zonda design. It's cool. It still keeps the leather straps on the outside, very Pagani-like. This is a really unique and special car because they're sticking with the V12 power plant. They went back to a manual gearbox. We're gonna have a look at the interior in a second, but yeah, it's so unique. I love this new Utopia, so let's have a closer look at it. You see the back of the Utopia. I think this looks a lot more Zonda-like, while the front looks more Huayra-like. Big thing to me is just the angle of the rear bumper here definitely screams Zonda, and I do love this new rear taillight design though they've done the Utopia. Still keeps that classic circular quad exhaust setup too, pretty iconic too. Paganis at this point. The new wheels are very good looking, and I want to get up close to the interior now. Yeah, have a look at the interior here of the Utopia. It's pretty cool because while a lot of companies are trying to go electric and make everything futuristic, Pagani has gone back to more of an analog style. So you can see the little manual sequential setup with the paddles there on the steering wheel, and you can see all the little buttons. There's no screens or anything like that in the center. It's all just buttons and dials. It's so cool looking. Just a very classy look to it. Even the seats sort of have a classic styling to them. Utopia is such a winner in my book, and this is my first time seeing it in person. I was already in love with it from pictures I saw online. Now seeing it in person only justifies it. It's a beautiful looking car, the Pagani Utopia.
Me to watch the store and get Pam.
Lamborghini Concept S, one of one. It's got the split cockpit there. So yeah, Gallardo underneath obviously, but very unique looking. That's pretty cool. Got the Lamborghini Lanzador electric concept that just debuted here at the Quail. So looks like sort of a 2-door futuristic Urus almost, but it's got 2+2 seating. The interesting thing about this, well, as I mentioned, it's all electric. So I think it's their second all electric concept. The Terzo Millennio was the first. This has 1 megawatt of power apparently, which is the equivalent to about 1,300 horsepower. So be pretty damn fast despite being an electric SUV. Oh, hold on a second. There goes the Jaguar XR15. So we've got the Revuelto and the Huracan Strato just being taken off of the Lamborghini stage. The Revuelto is one we have not seen before, so might as well get up close to it. You can see a lot of styling cues in some of the previous limited run Lamborghinis like the Sion. You can definitely see sticking out in the headlights. I've noticed that as a theme with Lamborghinis. When their new flagship car comes out, they generally take design cues from previous special editions. The Sesto Elemento kind of looked like the Huracan. The Aventador had some Reventon styling to it. a little SLR Roadster heading out behind us. Yeah, back to the Revuelto. So yeah, it is the successor to the very famous Aventador. Kind of sad to see the Aventador going. It's a pretty iconic car, but the Revuelto is pretty cool looking. The big thing that stands out for me are these cannons they have for exhaust at the end. And then we just have a look at the interior here. Still pretty distinctly Lamborghini. The styling has that fighter jet look to it. The paddles, look at how big they are. Fully carbon fiber, of course. And this is a hybrid V12 too. So another first for Lamborghini in their flagship line. And yeah, we've got the off-road Huracan Starato there as well. Okay, last up at the Pininfarina booth, another world debut here at the Quail. I'm saving the coolest one for last, the B95, an open-top Hyper GT electric speedster. So Pininfarina claimed the 0 to 60 in under 2 seconds, 300 km/h top speed, and just a ridiculous-looking design. Has a bit of a Ferrari design element to it, actually, which is not really surprising with Ferrari's link to Pininfarina. But have a look at the interior. The seats that they've debuted on this thing are quite cool. So that houndstooth design, and yeah, it's a speedster, so no windshield, just that tiny little stone guard. So obviously we would have to wear a helmet or something, which they've got in the cockpit there. But yeah, again, hypercar that is electric only. That is sort of Pininfarina's design philosophy in this modern era. But man, does it ever look really cool. This would go toe to toe with the likes of the Monza and the Elva, in my opinion, and even the Sterling Moss, because this design they've done on the B95 is absolutely beautiful. That is one thing I will say about these new Pininfarina cars. They look absolutely gorgeous. Oh, it's pulling over! Oh! Well, how's that for some post-Quail traffic? The MC12 Corsa on the road, and I had no idea, but it's got a removable top. How crazy is that? Wow. That the Mirage GT pulled up, joined the party. Look at that, the blue and the red suits. Can you get any flyer than that? Driving a Mirage GT and a freaking MC12 Corsa on the road. I mean, this is how you pull out of Quail in style, my friends. That is just unbelievable. And yeah, nothing real legal about that, but who really cares? It's Car Week. Anything goes. Yeah, it's pandemonium on this side street where they're keeping the Miller Motor Cars fleet. Gained another CCXR here. I'm losing track of which one's which, but as far as I remember, the other ones had red accents on it, so I think this is another one. I don't even know, guys. It's just overwhelming. This Apollo IE that we did see leaving the Quail is a new special color that they've developed. It's this weird blue and green tinted carbon. It's pretty unique, I must say. All these blue accents across all of the aero and everything too. That crazy looking shark fin that it's got. Oh man, that's interesting. Not bad, guys. Good CBK riding shotgun in the Esco today. So he's taking a day off from driving duties of his own car. Yeah, the CC850 sounds absolutely ridiculous. Might get another start up here. actually we saw back in the parking lot of the Quail yesterday. There's the green carbon fiber Wyra R that I think it was at the Quail yesterday, but it was just such a frenzy trying to film everything. You might have walked right past it. We had green carbon fiber Wyra R, absolute weapon. That thing is so sick. And nice that there's, well, a fence around it, so not too big of a crowd. We can actually have a slightly decent look at it. Oh, that's Horatio himself. Didn't even notice that at first.
Look at here, you're possibly on in here.
On Broadway, there's the Senna GTR with the custom wheels, Carrera GT, for a nice little drive down 17 Mile. Also got the YRBC Macchina Volante. Another SC30 Diablo, the classic purple this time. Oh guys, this is just freaking mayhem. Guys, total mayhem. Look at that. We got a TVR Sagaris. I am holding food in one hand. I'm trying to vlog with the other hand. But we got an F50 being loaded up onto the trailer here in Monterey. Look at that, and Nismo's 350Z in front of it too. This is crazy, guys. It just doesn't stop. All right, good morning, everybody from Monterey. A little Ferrari Palooza here. The 458 Speciale Aperta with the 488 Pista Spider and like this tailor-made spec. Really interesting blue with the white and orange stripe, and it's got white seats in there. And then over here we've got the F12 TDF, so all special limited edition run Ferraris. And then over here, as we continue with the limited run Ferraris, there's my personal favorite, the 599 GTO, this dark blue with the gray stripe. Really, really nice spec. And then looks like it's got some of that same kind of silvery stitching through the seats and the dashboard. So nice. This color pops so well. The lighting is really good right now. It's making this stand out very nice. And then over here, an even more special Ferrari 599, the SA Aperta, basically a convertible 599 GTO, one of only 80, and all the yellow with the yellow painted roof is pretty nice looking. And then we've got all the yellow accents through the seats and the stitching inside as well. And yeah, you can see it's got that humpback look. Sort of looks like a yellow Carrera GT from afar when you're walking up to it. But make no mistake, it's a very rare limited edition Ferrari, one of 80, and probably one of only a handful finished in yellow. And then just a nice 430 Scuderia over there as well. So good start to the day if you are a fan of the Scuderia. All right, guys, Pebble Beach Day here at Car Week, the final day and the biggest event. So lots of cars, lots of collector cars, lots of cigars, lots of cool suits, just a bit of everything. It's a very famous event, so we're gonna check out what the coolest stuff is in the concourse. Probably get some of the stuff leaving, head to Polo afterwards, and get the pack up at the end of Car Week. It's going to be mega. Let's get right into it. And yes, there we go, a road-going variant of the McLaren F1 finished in this light brown color. Pretty damn iconic. So we haven't really seen a road-going McLaren F1 driving around this year. We caught that F1 GTR Longtail on the Pebble Beach Tour Delegance. We didn't see this road car, so this is its first public appearance of Monterey Car Week. Greatest car ever built, obviously. So many different reasons behind it. That center seat position is iconic. Other cars have replicated it. It's still best known on the McLaren F1. Still the fastest naturally aspirated car ever built. Obviously, there have been many cars faster than it over the years now, but they've all required forced induction to do it. The McLaren F1 is the undisputed GOAT. That is so amazing to see that on the green here at Pebble Beach. But if there's one road car that's going to trump the McLaren F1, it's right down there. Yeah, so before we get to that other F1 sitting right beside us, I wanted to point out this Formula One car, the McLaren MP44, powered by Honda. I think probably the most famous Formula One car of all time. It's driven by Ayrton Senna and Alain Prost, but it was basically the most successful F1 car ever. It won every single race in the 1988 season except for one. So yeah, they completely dominated. Absolutely remarkable to see this car here at Pebble Beach. Ayrton Senna, obviously regarded as one of, if not the best drivers ever. Alain Prost is also a 4-time world champion, so nothing to scoff at there. So that is pretty insane to have that here. And we're going to shift over to another very special McLaren F1. All right, there it is, folks. The star of the show, the undisputed star of the show, McLaren F1 LM. So if you have a McLaren F1 and you thought you can't be topped, well, you go and get the F1 LM. So I believe there's only 6 LMs ever built, essentially a road legal version of the McLaren F1 GTR. It gets a power upgrade, it gets the high downforce kit, so you get a lot of different styling cues, the front splitter, the GT rear wing, those little louvers over the top. Like I said, it's basically a road legal F1 GTR. They're all supposed to be painted in this McLaren orange. I think only 4 of them are in the orange. 2 of them had this weird strange livery that went to the Sultan of Brunei. Who else? And you can't deny him if he wants to say that he wants a different color other than orange. So hopefully we see those 2 see the light of day someday. But for now, there we go, one of the F1 LMs. Got this beautiful, beautiful Miura from the back. I love how some of these guys are displaying the old original tools from the car as well. The little jack, the hammer, the little wrenches. So cool. Everything is just kept in pretty much original condition. I mean, this is the show that's handing out some pretty prestigious awards here at Pebble Beach, so you want to make sure that everything is legit. And then here is a pretty special one, 3500 GTZ from Zagato. I don't know how many were built. Obviously, very, very few, though. It's so incredibly rare. I've never seen one before. You can definitely see how it's a different styling from regular Lamborghinis. Zagato put their own touches on it. These little gills at the back are really interesting. The curve through the trunk line at the back. And we have a look at the interior. Yeah, pretty classic. The speedometer goes up to 300 kilometers an hour, which is pretty impressive for a car from back then. I don't, think it can actually hit 300 kilometers an hour, but it's getting pretty high speeds for a 1965 either way, which is pretty remarkable. So we are starting off the Ferrari collection here at Pebble Beach with the brand new SF90 XX Stradale and Spider, the brand new extreme variant of the SF90 Stradale. So I labeled the SF90 Stradale sort of like the first mass-produced hypercar. It wasn't really limited production, but it has hypercar numbers, right? It's about like 986 brake horsepower when you have hybrid mode on, so it's ICE. Also with electric battery power, the SF90 XX now pushes that to over 1,016 horsepower, 804 Newton meters of maximum torque, 0 to 62 miles per hour in 2.3 seconds. So yeah, I can run through all the statistics for you. It's quite impressive, and it definitely is a little bit better than the standard SF90, and it looks a lot different too. This A12 Competizione Aperta is brand new, another tailor-made car. I've never ever seen this paint job on any car, let alone just a Ferrari. It's like brown, gold, and green. It shifts around in the light, so yeah, it's a bit of a flip paint to it. Got these like light brown accents around it, and these brown seats, full carbon fiber interior. This looks so mega. In fact, have a look at the paddles. Even that is painted in that ridiculous looking flip paint. That is pretty remarkable. I don't know if I've ever seen that on any Ferrari before. Paint matching the paddles to the body color. Really, really special car. Here is a very special Ferrari, another one that did win the 24 Hours of Le Mans, the 250 GTO, probably the most recognizable of all the classic 250 series Ferraris, because for a very long time it was the most expensive car in the world sold at auction before. The 300 SLR beat that record, I think it was last year. So it's pretty important, this car, and pretty damn special. And the fact that it's just sitting here on the lawn, relatively unprotected, is pretty incredible. Just tens and tens of millions of dollars sitting right there. So we got a quick look at the Mustang GTD back at the Quail, try and get a better look at it now. It's pretty insane. It's essentially a Mustang GT3 for the road. Mustang just re-entered top class GT racing with this car, while it's going to be starting next year with Le Mans, IMSA, all of the major classes. And this is basically a road-going version of that Mustang GT3. The Kropovich exhaust behind that big rear diffuser, that giant GT rear wing, which is pretty much identical to the GT3 car. This was a huge surprise unveiling. I had no idea this was coming, and it's absolutely sick. 800 horsepower. You got these huge louvers and intakes just over the front wheels there. The only thing about this is one catch. It's $300,000 US for a Mustang. It's kind of a tough pill to swallow, but if you look at the power figures, and I'm sure the handling as well, it could possibly be very worth it. So yeah, it's based on the new generation Mustang, obviously, so it's got that new headlights, 8-speed dual clutch transmission on this, so pretty much what you have in the race car. Everything is basically race car underneath. It's essentially a homologated road-going version of the Mustang GT3. Really cool looking, very sinister. Yeah, again, if you can swallow the pill at $300,000 US, it's definitely worth it. All right, quite possibly the most important car here in the concept line, the brand new Mercedes-AMG GT. So it's up to 577 horsepower now. All-wheel drive setup on this new one, so it's got the 4MATIC Plus driving system. That is new for the Mercedes-AMG GT. But yeah, their new flagship sports car has been totally redesigned. This like satin frozen blue on it is also really good looking. So not humongous major changes to the design, just some nice modern styling updates to bring it up to 2024 standards. Really good looking. I think my favorite part of this one is the back though, so I want to take you guys back there right now so you can have a look at the new rear section of the AMG GT. Have a look at the back of the new Mercedes-AMG GT63. Yeah, another thing to note, I noticed the AMG GT63 nameplate was reserved for the 4-door, and now they're just calling the regular AMG GT the GT63. So Mercedes names can be a little confusing to keep up with, but I guess maybe they're just focusing on the 2-door for now. But you see they've redesigned the whole taillight design. Sort of has a bit like Mercedes EQS styling to it. It does look pretty nice. I like the little rear wing on the back of it as well. I'm not sure if you can option it with or without it, or if it just comes as standard, because it does look like there's a bit of an active rear wing that is kind of hiding underneath it. But I do really like that new design. The rear diffuser section with the exhaust is also looking pretty good, but it does keep that classic Mercedes styling from the front and the back, which is very nice to see. Yeah, apologies if there was a bit of shakiness at the start. I did have to get a move on in order to catch it on the road, as I was a little further away than I was anticipating for its arrival. But F1 LM out in the flesh. That could be the best spot of any car week, I have to say. I can't really think of anything off the top of my head that would top this. Well guys, crazy way to top off Monterey Car Week. You still got the brown F1 behind me. We saw the LM load up. I think that is the perfect way to end off a crazy week. This is the last of the mainline videos, so I wanted to thank you guys for tuning into all of them, leaving all the likes and comments, all the new subscribers. Welcome to the channel, and thank you so much guys for joining on the journey.